a bathing suit. Mommy, 55, a well-dressed, imposing woman. Daddy, 60, a small man, gray, thin. Grandma, 86, a tiny, wizened woman with bright eyes. The musician, no particular age, but young would be nice.
Comfortable?
How would I know?
What do we do now?
We wait. We sit here and we wait. That's what we do.
Shall we talk to each other?
Well, you can talk if you want to. If you can think of anything to say. If you can think of anything new.
No, I suppose not.
Of course not. Just be quiet and wait. She's throwing sand at me. You stop it, Grandma! You stop throwing sand at Mommy! She's throwing sand at me! Don't look at her! Just sit here, be very still, and wait. You go ahead and do whatever it is you do. Honestly, what a way to treat an old woman. Drag her out of the house, stick her in a car, bring her out here from the city, dump her in a pile of sand and leave her here to set. I'm 86 years old, married when I was 17 to a farmer. He died when I was 30. Will you stop that, please? I'm a feeble old woman. I'd expect anybody to hear me over that peep, peep, peep. No respect around here. There's no respect around here.
Hi.
My husband died when I was 30. I had to raise that big cow over there all by my lonesome. You can imagine what that was like. Lord. Where did they get you?
Oh, I've been around for a while.
I'll bet you have. Will you look at you?
Isn't that something?
I'll say. Pretty good.
I'll say.
Where are you from?
Southern California.
Figures. Figures. What's your name, honey?
I don't know.
Bright, too.
I mean, they haven't given me one yet. The studio.
You don't say. Don't say. Well, I gotta talk some more. Don't you go away.
Oh no.
Fine. Fine. You're an actor, huh?
Yes, I am.
I'm smart that way. Anyhow, I had to raise that over there all by my lonesome. And what's next to her there? That's what she married. Rich, I tell you. Money, money, money. They moved me off the farm, which was real decent of them. Moved me into the big townhouse with them. Fixed me a nice place under the stove. Gave me an army blanket, my own dish, my very own dish. So what have I Shouldn't it be getting dark now, dear?
It's nighttime.
Shh. Be still. Wait.
It's so hot.
Be still! Wait! That's better. Night. Honey, do you play all through this part? Keep it nice and soft. That's a good boy. That's nice.
What was that?
It was nothing.
It was thunder? Or a wave breaking? Or something?
It was an offstage rumble. And you know what that means.
I forget.
It means the time has come for poor Grandma. And I can't bear it.
I suppose you've got to be brave.
That's right, kid. Be brave. You'll bear up. You'll get over it. Oh, poor Grandma. Poor Grandma. I'm fine. All right. Hasn't happened yet. Don't put the lights up yet. I'm not ready. Not quite ready. All right, dear. I'm about done. I don't know how I'm supposed to do anything with this goddamn toy shovel.
Mommy, it's daylight.
So it is. Well, our long night is over. We must put away our tears, take off our mourning, and face the future. It's our duty. Take off our mourning and face the future. Glory.
Hi.
Lovely. It's hard to be sad. She looks so happy. It pays to do things well. All right, you can stop now. If you want to. I mean, stay around for a swim or something. It's all right with us. Well, Daddy, off we go.
Brave, Mommy.
Brave Daddy. It pays to do things well. Boy, oh boy. Well, kids, I can't get up. I can't move. I can't move.
Be very still.
I can't move.
Ma'am, I have a line here.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. You go right ahead.
I am
Take your time, dear.
I am the angel of death. I am come for you.
What? Oh, I see. Well, that was very nice, dear.
Just be still.
What I meant was, you did that very well, dear.
Oh.
No, I mean it. You've done that
refrigeration system, the Ice Palace was compelled to close its doors yesterday. The management expects to reopen for business as usual on Monday.
Oh, well, that means I can't go skating until Monday. Thanks a lot, Dad.
Just a minute, Beaver. This also says the Ice Palace has been closed since yesterday.
Oh, it says that, huh? Beaver, you said you were there yesterday. And today. Yeah, but did I tell you I was skating? Yes, you did. Oh.
All right, Beaver. Suppose you sit down there and tell us what this is all about.
Well, you know those new skates I bought, Dad? Well, I can't wear them on account they're way too big for me. But I didn't want to tell you, so you'd yell at me for buying them myself and wasting my money. Oh, Beaver.
Beaver, you should have come to me anyway.
Well, gee, Dad, I'd almost do anything rather than have you know I was dumb.
Oh, I see. Well, where have you been spending your afternoons?
Little Goop has been sitting around in the library pretending to be reading.
Beaver, why didn't you just take the skates back to the store where you bought them?
Well, me and Willie tried that. The man wouldn't even exchange them or give us our money back.
Yeah, that he was one of those salesmen you just couldn't get a grip on.
You know, Dad, I almost wish you hadn't let me buy those skates.
Well, you insisted on it, Beaver. We did it to be nice to you.
Yeah. But just for once, I wish you would have been mean to me. Then I would have lost $13 whole.
Well, I'll tell you what I might do.
I've been to the zoo. I said I've been to the zoo. Mister, I've been to the zoo.
What? I'm sorry. You talking to me?
I went to the zoo and then I walked until I came here. Have I been walking north?
North. Let me see. I think so.
Is that 5th Avenue there?
Yes. Yes, it is.
And what's the cross street there? That one to the right?
Oh, that would be 74th Street.
And the zoo is down around 65th Street, so I've been walking north.
Yeah, it would seem so.
Good old north. But not due north.
Well, no. But we call it north. Northern.
Oh boy, you're not going to get lung cancer, are you?
Oh, no, sir, not from this.
No, sir. What you'll probably get is cancer of the mouth, and then you'll have to wear one of those things that Freud wore when they tore one whole side of his jaw away. What do they call those things?
Prosthesis.
Very thin. A prosthesis. You're an educated man, aren't you? Are you a doctor?
Oh, no. I read that someplace. Time magazine, I think.
Well, Time magazine isn't for blockheads.
I guess not.
Boy, I'm glad that's 5th Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the west side of the park much.
Oh? Why?
I don't know. Do you mind if we talk?
No.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
No, I don't, really.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't mind at all. Really.
It's It's a nice day.
Yes. Yes, it is. Lovely.
I've been to the zoo.
Yes, I think you said that before.
You'll probably read about it in the papers tomorrow morning. Well, unless you see it on TV tonight. You have TV, don't you?
Oh, yes, yes, we have two. One for the children.
Well, you're married.
Certainly.
It isn't a law, for God's sake.
Oh, no, of course not.
But you have a wife,
Yes.
and you have children.
Yes, two.
Boys.
No, girls, both girls.
But you wanted boys.
Well, naturally, every man wants a son, but
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
that's not what I was going to say.
But you're not going to have any more kids, are you?
No, there'll be no more. What? Why did you say that? How'd you know that?
The way you cross your legs, perhaps? Something in your voice? Maybe I'm just guessing. Is it your wife?
That's none of your business. Do you understand? Well, you're right. There'll be no more children.
That is the way the cookie crumbles.
Yes, I guess you're right.
Do you mind if I ask you questions?
I don't think so.
I'll tell you why I do it. I don't talk to many people, well, except to say, like, give me a beer, or where's the John, or what time's the feature go on, or keep your hands to yourself, buddy, you know, things like that. Every once in a while, I like to talk to somebody, really talk. I like to get to know somebody, know all about it.
And I'm the guinea pig for today.
Well, on a nice sun-drenched Sunday afternoon like this, who better than a nice married man with 2 daughters and a dog? No? 2 dogs? No dogs. That's a shame. You look like an animal, man. Cats. Cats. That can't be your idea, though. No, sir. Your wife and daughters? Is there anything else I should know?
There are 2 parakeets, one for each of my daughters.
Birds.
My daughters keep them in a cage in their bedroom.
Do they carry disease, the birds?
I don't think so.
That's too bad. If they did, you could set them loose in the house, and the cats could eat them and die. What else? What do you do to support your enormous household?
Well, I have an executive position with a small publishing house. We publish textbooks.
That sounds nice, very nice. What do you make?
Now sit
Oh,
here.
come on.
Well, I make about $18,000 a year. But I never carry more than $40 on me at any given time. In case you're a hold-up man.
Where do you live? Oh, look, I'm not going to rob you. I'm not going to kidnap your parakeets, your cats, or your dog.
I live between Lexington and 3rd on 74th Street.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
Well, it's just that you don't really carry on a conversation. You just ask questions, and normally I'm reticent. Why did you stand there?
Say, what's the dividing line between upper middle class and lower upper middle class?
My good fellow.
Don't my good fellow me.
I'm sorry. Was that patronizing? I believe I was. I'm sorry. It's just that your question about the classes bewildered me.
And when you're bewildered, you become patronizing?
I don't express myself too well sometimes, Ed. I'm in publishing, not writing.
So be it. The truth is, I was being patronized.
Oh, now you needn't say that.
All right. What are your favorite writers? Baudelaire and Irving Stone?
Well, I like a great many writers. I have a considerable catholicity of taste, if I may say so. Both of these writers are fine in their own right. Baudelaire, of course, is by far the finer of the two. But Stone has a certain place in our national lexicon.
Skip it.
Sorry?
You know what I did before I went to the zoo today? I walked all the way up Fifth Avenue from Washington Square, all the way.
Oh, you live in Greenwich Village.
No, I don't. I took the subway down to the village so I could walk all the way up Fifth Avenue to the zoo. It's something a person has to do. Sometimes he has to go a very long distance out of the way in order to come back a short distance correct.
Oh, I thought you lived in Greenwich Village.
What were you trying to do? Make sense out of things? Bring order? The old pigeonhole bit? Well, that's easy, I'll tell you. I live in a 4-story brownstone rooming house on the Upper West Side between Columbus Avenue and Central Park West. I live in the top floor, rear, west. It's a laughably small room. One of my walls is made of beaver board, and the beaver board separates my room from another laughably small room. So I assume the two rooms were once one room. Well, a small room, but not necessarily laughable. The room on the other side of the beaver board wall is occupied by a colored queen who always keeps his door open. Well, not always, but always when he plucks his eyebrows, which he does with Buddhist concentration. This colored queen, he's got rotten teeth, which is rare. And he's got a Japanese kimono, which is also pretty rare. And he wears the kimono to and from the John in the hall, which is pretty frequent. I mean, he goes to the John a lot. He never bothers me, never brings anybody up to his room. All he does is pluck his eyebrows, wear the kimono, and go to the John. And the two front rooms on my floor, they're a little larger, I guess, but they're pretty small, too. There's a Puerto Rican family in one of them, a husband and wife, and some kids. I don't know how many. These people entertain a lot. In the other front room, there's somebody living there, but I don't know who it is. I've never seen who it is. Never. Never, ever.
Why? Why do you live there?
I don't know.
It doesn't sound like a very nice place where you live.
Well, no, it's not an apartment in the East 70s. But then, well, I don't have one wife, 2 daughters, 2 cats, and 2 parents. What I have toilet articles, some clothes, a hot plate that I'm not supposed to have, a can opener, one that works for the key, you know, a knife, 2 forks, 2 spoons, 1 small and large, 3 plates, cups, saucer, a drinking glass, 2 picture frames, both empty, 8 or 9 books, pack of pornographic playing cards, regular deck, an old Western Union typewriter, one that prints nothing but capital letters, and an old, small, strong box without a lock, which has in its, some seed-rounded rocks I picked up on the beach when I was a kid, under which, way down, are some letters. Please, letters. Please, why don't you do this? And please, why do you do that? And when, letters? So when will you write? When will you come? These letters are from the least years.
About the 2 empty picture frames.
I don't see why they need any explanation at all. Isn't it clear? I don't have pictures of anyone who could.
Your parents, perhaps? A girlfriend?
You're a very sweet man, and you possess a truly enviable innocence, but good old mom and good old pop are dead. I've broken up about it, really. Yeah, but that particular vaudeville act is playing a cloud circuit now, so I don't see how I can look at them all being friends. Besides, or rather to be pointed about it, good old mom walked out on good old pop when I was 10.5 years old. She embarked on an adulterous turn of our southern states, a voyage of a year's duration, and her most constant companion, among many others, was a Mr. Barleycorn. At least that's what good old pop told me after he went down, came back, and brought her body north. We received news between Christmas and New Year's to see that good old mom had parted with the ghost in some dump in Alabama, and without the ghost, she was less welcome. I mean, what was she? Stiff. A northern stiff. At any rate, good old Pop celebrated the New Year for an even 2 weeks, and then he slapped into the front of a somewhat moving city omnibus, and that sort of cleared things out family-wise. No, wait. There was my mom's sister, who was given neither the sin nor the consolations of the bottle. I moved in on her, and my memories of her are slight, except I remember she did all things dour. Eating, sleeping, working, praying. And then she dropped dead on the steps of her apartment, my apartment then too, on the afternoon of my high school graduation. A terribly middle European joke, if you ask me. Oh, you're what? But that was all a long time ago. I have no feeling about any of it that I carry with myself, but perhaps you can see why good old mom and good old pop are friends. What's your name, your first name?
Peter.
I forgot to ask. I'm Jerry.
Hello, Jerry.
Now, let's see. What's the point of having a girl's picture and 2 friends? I have 2 picture frames. And I never see the pretty little ladies more than once. And most of them wouldn't be caught in the same room with a camera. sad that I never see the little ladies more than once. I've never been able to have sex. No, I was able to make love to anybody more than once. Once, that's it. No, for a week and a half when I was 15, and I hang my head in shame that puberty was late. I was HOMOSEXUAL. I mean, I was queer, with bells ringing and banners snapping in the wind. For those 11 days, I met at least twice a day with the park superintendent's son, a Greek boy, whose birthday was the same day as mine, except he was a year older. I think I was very much in love. Maybe just sex. But that was the jazz of a very special hotel, wasn't it? Now, oh, I do love the little ladies. Really, I love them. For about now.
Well, it seems perfectly simple to me. You just
What, are you going to tell me to get married and have parakeets?
Well, forget about the parakeets and stay single as long as you like. It doesn't make any difference to me. I'm not the one who started this conversation.
I'm sorry. All right, you're not angry?
Oh, no, I'm not angry.
It's interesting that you asked me about the picture frames. I would have guessed that you would have asked me about the pornographic playing cards.
I've seen those playing cards.
That's not the point. I suppose when you were a kid, you and your pals, you had to pack around, maybe you had to pack your own.
Well, it seems a lot of us did.
And you threw yours away right before you got married.
Now, look here, I didn't need anything like that once I'd gotten older.
No?
I don't think I want to talk about this.
So don't. Besides, I wasn't trying to plumb your post-adolescent sexual life in hard times. But what I was getting at is the value difference between pornographic playing cards when you're a kid and pornographic playing cards when you're older. See, when you're a kid, you use the cards as a substitute for the real experience. But when you're older, you use the real experience as a substitute for the fantasy. But I imagine you'd rather hear about what happened at the zoo.
Yes. Yes, the zoo. That is, if you don't mind.
Sure, I'll tell you about the zoo with me. First, I should tell you a few things. So I've told you about the rooms on the 4th floor of the rooming house where I live. Now, the rooms are better as you go down floor by floor. I guess they are. I don't know. Anybody on the 3rd or 2nd floor. No, wait. I know that there's a lady on the 3rd floor in the front. I know because I hear her crying all the time. Whenever I come in or go out, whenever I pass the door, I hear her crying. Muffled, but very determined indeed. But what I want to tell you about it, and all about the dog, is the landlady. Now, I don't like to use words that are too harsh to describe people. I just don't. But the landlady is a fat, ugly, mean, stupid, unwashed, misanthropic, cheap, drunken bag of garbage. And you'll notice I very seldom use profanity, so I can't describe her as well as I must.
You describe her vividly.
Oh, thanks. She is a dog, and she and the dog are the gatekeepers of my dwelling. Now, the woman is bad enough. She leans around in the entrance hall, and she spies on me to see that I don't bring in things for people. And whenever she's had her mid-afternoon pint of lemon-flavored gin, she stops me in the hall. She grabs me by the coat of the arm. She presses her disgusting body up against me to keep me in the corner so she can talk to me. And the smell of her breath and her body, you can't imagine. And somewhere in the back of that pea-sized brain of hers, this organ developed just enough to let her eat, drink, and emit. She has some foul parody of sexual desire, an eye. Either I am the object of that sweaty lust.
That's disgusting. It's horrible.
But I found a way to keep her off. Whenever she talks to me and presses her body up against mine and mumbles something about her room and how I should go there with her sometime, I just say to her, but love wasn't yesterday enough for you, and the day before. And then she puzzles. She sways a little. She makes slits of her tiny eyes, and then here it is at this moment that I think I might be doing some good in that tormented house. This simple-minded smile forms on her awful face, and she giggles and groans as she thinks about yesterday and the day before. She relives and believes what never happened. And then she motions to that black monster of a dog of hers, and she goes into her room, and I am safe until our next meeting.
It's unthinkable. It's hard to believe that people such as that really are.
It's for reading about, isn't it?
Yes.
Fact is better left to fiction. You're right, Peter. But what I've been meaning to tell you about is the dog, and I shall now.
Oh, yes. The dog.
Also, you're not thinking of going, right?
I don't think so.
Good, because after I tell you about the dog, you know what then? Then I'm going to tell you about what happened to you.
You're full of stories, aren't you?
You don't have to listen. No one's keeping you here. Remember that. Keep that in your mind.
I know that.
You do? Good. All right. The story of Jerry and the dog. Now, what I'm going to tell you about has something to do with how sometimes it's necessary to go a long distance out of the way in order to come back a short distance correct. Or maybe I don't think it has something to do with that. But it's why I went to the zoo today, and it's why I walked northerly rather, until I came here. All right. Now, the dog, I think I told you, is black monster of a beast. He's got an oversized head, tiny, tiny ears, and eyes bloodshot, infected maybe, and a body you can see the ribs through the skin. Now, the dog is black except for the bloodshot eyes, and yes, he's got an open sore on the right forepaw, and that's red too. And yes, the poor beast. Now, I do think he's an old dog. He certainly is a misused one. He almost always has an erection of sorts, and that is red too. What else? Yes, there's a gray, yellow, white color. Whenever he bares his fangs, like this, which is what he did the first time he saw me, the day I moved in. I worried about that animal from the moment I met him. I mean, what I mean is animals don't take to me the way St. Francis had birds hanging off him all the time. What I mean is animals are indifferent to me. Like people. Most of the time. But this dog, he wasn't indifferent. From the very beginning, he'd snarl and go for me, like to get one of my legs. I mean, not like he was rabid, you know. I mean, he was sort of a stumbly dog, but he wasn't half-fast either. It was a good stumbling run. But I'd always get away. No, but when he did get me right here on the trouser leg where it's mended, that happened the second day I lived it. But I was able to kick free and got upstairs fast, so that was that. Now, I still don't know to this day how the other roomers managed it, but you know what I think? I think it has to do only with me. So, but this went on for a week or so. Whenever I came in, but never when I went out. Now, that's funny. Or it was funny. I could have packed up and lived out in the street for all that dog care. But then, one day, I was sitting on my bed, thinking about the dog. It was after one of the times that I bolted upstairs. And I made up my mind. I decided that first, I'll kill the dog with kindness, and if that doesn't work, I'll just kill him. Don't react. Just listen. The next day I went out and I bought a bag of hamburgers, medium rare, no ketchup, no onions, and on my way back home I threw out all the rolls. Now, when I got back to the rooming house, the dog was waiting for me. I half opened the door to the entrance hall. There he was, waiting for me. You see. Now, I had a bag of hamburgers, you remember? So I opened up the bag, I put the hamburgers down about 12 feet from where the dog was snarling. The dog, he snarled, stopped snarling, sniffed, moved slowly, and faster toward the meat. Now when he got to it, he stopped, and he looked at me. I smiled at him, tentatively, you understand. And he turned his face back to the hamburger, sniffed, smelled some more, and then tore into the meat like he'd never eaten anything in his life before, except like garbage. Which might very well have been the truth. I don't think the landlady ever eats anything with garbage. And he ate up all the hamburger almost all at once, making sounds in his throat like a woman. Then, when he'd eaten up all the meat, all the hamburger, and started eating the paper too, he sat down and he smiled. I think he smiled. I don't cast it. It was a very gratifying few moments. And then, bam! He snarled and he went for me again. But he didn't get me this time either. So, I got upstairs, sat down on my bed, I started thinking about the dog again, and to be truthful about it, I was offended. And I was damn mad, too. It was 6 perfectly good hamburgers without enough pork in it to make it disgusting. I was offended. But decided I'd try it for a few more days. And if you think about it, this dog had what amounted to an antipathy toward me, and I wondered if I might overcome this antipathy. So, I tried it for 5 more days, but it was almost the same. Snarl, sniff, move, faster, stare, gobble, smile, bam. Now, by this time, Columbus Avenue was strewn with hamburger rolls, and I was less offended and disgusted. So, I decided I'd kill the dog. But don't be so alarmed, Peter, I didn't succeed. The day I tried to kill the dog, I bought 1 hamburger and what I thought was a murderous portion of rat poison. When I bought the hamburger, I told the guy not to bother with the roll, I just wanted to eat. Now I expected some reaction from him. I thought he'd say something like, "We don't sell no burgers without rolls," or "What are you going to do, eat it out of your hands?" But no, he smiled benignly, wrapped the hamburger up in the wax paper, and said, "A bite for you, pussycat?" And I wanted to say, well, no, not really. It's part of a plan to poison the dog I know. But you can't say a dog I know, that's kind of funny. So I said, too loud, I'm afraid, too formally, "Yes, a bite for my pussycat." People looked up. I mean, it always happens. Whenever I try to simplify things, people look up. That's neither hither nor thither. So on my way back to the rooming house, I kneaded the hamburger together with the rat poison between my hands. At this point, feeling as much sadness as disgust. When I got back, I opened the door. There the beast was, waiting to take the offering and then jump me. Poor bastard. He never understood at that moment he took to smile at me. He gave me enough time to get out of range. But there he was, malevolence with an erection, waiting. I put the poison bag down and moved to the stairs. And watched. The poor animal gobbled down all the food as usual, smiled, which almost made me sick. And then, bam, he went for me. But I got upstairs as usual, and he didn't get me, as usual. And so it came to pass that the beast was deathly ill. Now I knew this because he no longer attended me, and because the landlady sobered up. She stopped me in the hall the same night of the attempted murder, and she confided the information that God had struck her puppy dog a surely fatal blow. She'd forgotten her bewildered lust. Her eyes were wide open for the first time. They looked like the dog's eyes. She sniffled and implored me to pray for her puppy. Now, I wanted to say to her, "Madam, I have myself to pray for her, the colored queen, the Puerto Rican family, the person in the front room who I've never seen, a woman who cries with deliberation behind a closed door, and the rest of the people in all the rooming houses everywhere. But, besides, madam, I don't understand how to pray." But, to simplify things, I told her I would. She looked up. She said that I was a liar and that I probably wanted the dog to die. And I told her that I didn't want the dog to die, and I didn't. And that's because I poisoned it. I'm afraid I must tell you that I wanted the dog to live so that I could see what our new relationship might come to. Please understand me, Peter. This sort of thing is important. It is. This kind of thing is important, Peter. Believe me. We have to know the effect of our actions. So anyway, the dog recovered. I had no idea why, unless he was a descendant of that puppy that guarded the gates of hell or some such resort. I'm not up on my mythology, are you? At any rate, and you missed the $8,000 question, Peter. At any rate, the dog recovered his health. The landlady recovered her thirst, in no way altered by her bow wow of deliverance. And when I came home from a movie that had been playing on 42nd Street, a movie that I had seen, or one that was very much like one or several that I'd seen, and the landlady told me that Puppykins was better, I was so hoping that the dog would be waiting for me. I was... What's the word I want? Enticed. Fascinated. No, I don't think so. heart-shatteringly anxious. That's it. I was heart-shatteringly anxious to confront my friend again. Yes, Peter, friend. That's the only word for it. I was heart-shatteringly, etc., to confront my doggy friend again. So I opened the door, advanced unafraid to the center of the entrance hall, and there he was, looking at me. And he looked better for his scrape with it, never mind. I stopped and I looked at him. He looked at me, and I think we stayed that way for a long time. Still, stone statue, just looking into each other's face. Well, I looked more into his face than he looked into mine. I mean, I can concentrate longer looking into the dog's face than a dog can concentrate looking into my face or anybody else's face for that matter. But during those 20 seconds or 2 hours that we looked at each other, we made contact. Now, here's what I wanted to happen. I love the dog now, and I wanted him to love me. I tried to love, and I tried to kill, and both had been unsuccessful by themselves. I hoped, and I have no idea why I expected the dog to understand anything, much less my motivations, but I hoped the dog would understand. It's just, if you can't deal with people, you have to start somewhere. Animals. Don't you see? Yeah, a person has to have a way of dealing with something, not with people, with something, with a bear, with a cockroach, with a mirror. No, not that. That's one of the last steps. With a cockroach, with a carpet, with a roll of toilet paper. No, that's right. That's a mirror too. Always check. Bleeding. You see how hard it is to find things with a street corner with too many lights and all the colors reflecting on the old wet streets with a wisp of smoke. A wisp of smoke with pornographic playing cards, with the strong box, without a lock, with love, with vomiting, with crying, with fury at the pretty little ladies because they're not pretty little ladies, with making money with your body, which is an act of love, and I can prove it, with howling because you're alive, with God. Now, how about that? With God, who is a colored queen who wears a Japanese kimono and plucks his eyebrows. He's a woman who cries with determination behind a closed door. With God, who I'm told turned his back on the whole thing a long time ago. With someday with people. People. With a concept, an idea, and where better? Where better in this humiliating excuse for a jail? Where better to communicate a single simple-minded idea than in an entrance hall? And where better to make a start, a beginning, to understand and just possibly be understood, a beginning of an understanding than with a dog. Just a dog. A dog. It seemed like a perfectly sensible idea. Man is a dog's best friend, remember? I looked at the dog looked at me, I longer than the dog. And what I saw then has been the same ever since. Whenever the dog and I see each other, we stop. We look at one another, we regard each other with a mixture of sadness and suspicion, and then we feign indifference. We walk past each other safely. We have an understanding. It's very sad, but you have to admit it is an understanding. We have made many attempts at contact and we failed. The dogs returned to garbage, I to solitary but free passage. No, I have not returned. I mean to say I have gained solitary free passage, if that much further loss can be said to be gained. And I've learned that kindness and cruelty by themselves, independent of each other, create no effect beyond themselves. And that the two of them together at the same time, combined, make up the teaching emotion. And what is gained is lost. What is the result? The dog and I have attained a compromise, no more apart. We neither love nor hurt because we do not try to reach each other. And was trying to feed the dog. delight me, not an act of love, and if we can so misunderstand, why have we invented the word love in the first place? The story of Jerry and the dog, the end. So what do you think, Peter? You think I can sell that story to the Reader's Digest and make a couple $100 for the most unforgettable character I've ever met? Come on, Peter, tell me what you think.
I don't understand what... I don't think that... Why did you tell me all this?
Why not?
I don't understand.
That's a lie.
No, it isn't.
I tried to explain it to you as I went along. I went very slowly. It all has
I don't want to hear anymore. I don't understand you or your landlady or her dog.
Her dog out of mine! No, you're right. Of course it is her dog. I don't know what I was thinking. Of course you don't understand. I don't live on your block. I'm not married to two parakeets or whatever your setup is. I'm a permanent transient. I live in the sickening rooming houses of the Upper West Side of New York City, which is the greatest city in the world. Amen.
I'm sorry,
Forget it. Suppose you don't quite know what to make of me, eh?
We get all kinds of publishing.
You're a funny man, you know that? You're a very richly comic person.
Oh, now, not really.
Peter, do I annoy you or confuse you?
Well, I must confess, this wasn't the afternoon that I had anticipated.
You mean I'm not the gentleman you were expecting?
I wasn't expecting anyone.
No, I don't imagine you were, but I'm here and I'm not leaving.
Well, you may not be, but I must be getting home.
No, come on, stay a little longer.
No, really, I must be home.
Come on.
No, don't do that.
Come on.
Stop it. Don't do that. Stop it. No, don't do that. No, I really must be getting home. The parakeets are getting dinner ready, and the cats are setting the...
Peter, listen now.
What is it? What is it, Jerry?
Peter, do you want to hear about what happened at the zoo?
Yes. I had my own little zoo there for a minute, didn't I? Parakeets setting the table or whatever that was.
Yeah, that was very funny, Peter. I didn't expect that. And do you want to hear about what happened at the zoo or not?
Yes, by all means. By all means. Tell me what happened at the zoo. Oh my. I don't know what came over me there.
All right, I'll tell you about what happened at the zoo, but first I should tell you about why I went to the zoo. I went to the zoo to find out more about the way people exist with animals and the way animals exist with each other, and with people too. I suppose it probably wasn't a fair test, what with everybody separated by bars from everybody else. The animals, for the most part, from each other, but always the people from the animals. But if it's a zoo, that's the way it is. You move over.
I'm sorry.
All the animals are there, and all the people are there, and it's Sunday, so all the children are there. Move over.
All right.
And it's hot, so all the stench is there too. And the ice cream sellers, and the balloon sellers, and the seals are barking, and the birds are screaming. Move over.
Look here, you have more than enough room.
And I am there, and it's feeding time at the lion house. And the lion keeper goes into the lion cage, one of the lion cages, to feed one of the lions. Move over.
Now, you have more than enough room. Quit hitting me. What's the matter with you?
Do you want to hear the story or not?
I'm not so sure. I certainly don't want to be punched in the arm.
Like that?
Stop it! What's the matter with you?
I'm crazy, you bastard.
That's not funny.
Listen, Peter, I want this bench. You go sit over there, and if you're good, I'll tell you the rest of the story.
But, whatever for? But what is the matter with you? And besides, why should I give up this bench? I sit on this bench almost every Sunday afternoon, in good weather, and it's always secluded here. There's never anyone sitting on this bench, and I always have it to myself.
Get off the bench,
No.
I said, I want this bench and I'm going to have it. Now get over there.
Now, people can't always have what they want. You should know that. That's a rule. People can have some of the things that they want, but they can't have everything.
Imbecile. You're slow.
Stop it!
You're a vegetable. Go lie on the ground.
Now, you listen to me. I've put up with you all afternoon.
Not really.
Long enough. I have put up with you long enough. I've listened to you because, well, because I thought you wanted to talk to somebody.
You put things well. Economically. Yet, what is the word? I want to put justice to you. Jesus, you make me sick! Get off of my bench! Get out of my sight!
God damn you, that's enough! That is enough! I've had enough of you! I will not give up this bench! You can't have it, and that's that! Now go away! Go away, I said! If you don't get away, if you don't move on, you're a bum! That's what you are! If you don't move on, I'll call a policeman here and make you go! I warn you, I will call a policeman!
You won't find a policeman around here. They're all over on the west side of the park chasing fairies out of the trees and out of the bushes. That's what they do. That's their function. So scream your head off. It won't do you any good.
Police! I warn you! I will have you arrested! Police! I said, I feel ridiculous!
You look ridiculous. A grown man screaming for the police on a bright Sunday afternoon in the park with no one harming you. If a policeman did fill up his quota and come sludging over here, he'd probably take you in as a nut.
Great God, I just come here to read. And now you want me to give up the bench? You're mad!
Hey, I've got news for you, as they say. I'm on your precious bench, and you're never going to have it for yourself again.
Now listen, you. I want you off my bench. I don't care if it makes any sense or not. I want you away from my bench!
Oh, look who's mad.
Stop it!
No.
That's enough!
Do you know how ridiculous you look?
It doesn't matter! I want you off my bench!
Why? You have everything in the world you want. You told me about your home and your family and your own little zoo. You have everything. Now you want this bench? Is this what men fight for? Tell me, Peter, is this bench, this wood, this iron, is this your honor? Is this the thing in the world you'd fight for? Can you think of any more absurd?
Absurd? Well, I'm not even going to talk to you about honor. I'm not even going to try to explain it to you. Besides, it doesn't have anything to do with honor. And even if it had, you wouldn't understand it.
You don't even know what you're saying, do you? This is probably the first time in your life you've ever had to face anything more trying than changing your cat's toilet box. Stupid. Don't you have any idea, not even the slightest, what other people need?
Well, listen to you. You don't need this bench, that's for sure.
Yes. Yes, I do.
I have been coming here for years. I have had hours of great pleasure, great satisfaction right here. And that's very important to a man. I'm a reasonable person. I am a grown-up. This is my bench and you have no right to take it away from me!
Fight for it then. Defend yourself, defend your bench.
You push me to it. Stand up.
Well, and fight like a man.
Yes, you fight like a man if you insist on mocking me even further!
You know, I have to give you credit for one thing, Peter. And, you know, I mean this, you are a vegetable. And
Stop it! That's enough!
You know, as they
That is
say
enough!
on TV all the time, and I mean this, Peter, you know, you have a certain dignity, and it surprises me.
Stop it!
Very well, then. We'll battle for the bench. But we're not even a match.
You are stark raving mad. You're gonna kill me.
There you go. Pick up the knife, and we'll be more evenly matched.
No.
I said you pick up the knife and you fight! You fight for the bench, you fight for your goddamn self-respect!
Help! Somebody help!
You fight, miserable bastard! Fight for the bench, fight for your manhood, you pathetic vegetable! You can even get your wife with male child.
It's a matter of genetics, not manhood, you monster! I give you one last chance! You get out of here and you leave me alone!
So be it.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh, thank you, Peter. Thank you, Peter. I mean that. I came unto you and you have comforted me. Dear Peter. You better go. Somebody might come. You don't want to be here if anybody comes. All right. I should tell you something, Peter. You're not. You're an animal. You're an animal too. Really. But hurry, Peter. Hurry home. See, Peter? Hurry home, Peter. Hurry home. But Peter, get your book. Get your book. It's right here beside me on your bench. My bench, rather. Come on, hurry, Peter. Very good. Very good, Peter. Hurry home, Peter. Parakeets are making the dinner, the cats are setting the table.
Oh my God!